Did Offset just deny Cardi B's pregnancy rumors while throwing shade at her, their past marriage, and the whole idea of love itself? The internet is on fire after Offset jumped into the middle of fan speculation, and instead of keeping quiet or defending his ex, he decided to make things even messier. What started as whispers about Cardi's baby bump has now turned into a full-on debate about Offset's toxic patterns, his views on marriage, and whether Cardi is truly free from the cycle of chaos he dragged her into. This story is not just about a baby rumor. It's about betrayal, bitterness, and the battle for control in a very public relationship. It all started with a simple observation: Cardi B stepping out in an outfit that had fans zooming in on her stomach and speculating whether she was hiding another pregnancy. Social media exploded with screenshots, theories, and arguments, with half the internet swearing she was glowing with baby number 3, and the other half insisting it was just styling or angles. Cardi herself jumped online to shut it down, cursing people out and insisting she wasn't pregnant, but fans weren't buying it, pointing out that every time she denied it in the past, a baby announcement followed. And that's when Offset decided to add gasoline to the fire by publicly saying, "It's not mine." Offset didn't just deny the rumors. He went further, taking a swipe that fans couldn't ignore. He jumped into the comments, claiming that having 3 kids by a demon is enough, a line that sent shockwaves across social media. Whether he was calling Cardi that directly or just being bitter, people saw it as disrespectful, especially since Cardi has carried his drama for years. Instead of silencing the chatter, Offset's denial only made fans talk more, with people now speculating not just about whether Cardi was pregnant, but also about how toxic the dynamic between them had really gotten behind closed doors. When Offset sat down for a podcast interview, he doubled down on his bitterness, making it crystal clear that he was done with marriage altogether. Asked whether he'd ever consider tying the knot again, Offset shook his head and said no, claiming he'd already done it, had 3 kids, and completed that mission. Then he gave advice to other men, saying they should wait until they get their money up before even thinking about settling down. For many, this was proof that Offset sees marriage less as love and partnership, and more as a financial burden or trap, something that didn't sit well with fans who remembered him begging Cardi on stage to take him back after he cheated. The most disturbing part of Offset's comments came when he admitted that to him, everything is temporary. That one line revealed more than he probably intended, painting a picture of a man who doesn't even believe in long-term love anymore. This is the same Offset who once pulled grand public stunts, interrupting Cardi's performances to beg for forgiveness after cheating scandals, acting like she was the love of his life. But now, to hear him shrug it all off as temporary, left many people questioning if he ever took marriage seriously in the first place. It sounded like the words of someone who refuses to take accountability and instead blames the institution itself for his own failures. Offset has built a reputation over the years as one of hip-hop toxic kings, with fans often placing him right under Future on the list of rappers who thrive on chaos. His track record with Cardi included cheating scandals, public humiliation, and endless cycles of breakups and reconciliations that always ended with Cardi forgiving him, until she finally didn't. Fans are now pointing out that Offset's bitterness toward marriage isn't a reflection of marriage itself, but rather of his inability to be faithful, respectful, or stable. To many, it looks like he's rewriting history to protect his ego instead of admitting that he was the problem all along. Meanwhile, Cardi B has handled the situation in her own way, by staying focused on her money, her kids, and her career. She's never been shy about airing out her frustrations when Offset embarrassed her, but in moments like these, she lets her success speak louder than his words. Fans point out that while Offset is busy jumping into comment sections and making bitter podcast statements, Cardi is securing brand deals, working on music, and being present for her children. The contrast couldn't be clearer. One is spiraling in bitterness, while the other is rising above it. Of course, the internet being the internet, the story doesn't stop there. Cardi has been linked to NFL star Stefon Diggs, with rumors swirling that the two are either in a PR relationship or something more serious. But Diggs himself has had controversies, and some fans are warning Cardi that she might be jumping from one toxic man to another. Compared to Offset, Diggs might seem like a safer option, but early red flags have fans worried that history could repeat itself. The speculation only adds more drama to Cardi's personal life, making people wonder if she can ever escape the chaos that comes with high-profile relationships. Offset's claim that marriage clashes with being a rapper also struck a nerve because it highlights a larger issue within rap culture. For many artists, the lifestyle is built around constant travel, parties, late nights, and groupies, making commitment a challenge. But fans argue that it's not the lifestyle, it's the choices. Plenty of celebrities manage to stay faithful and married while balancing demanding careers. Offset's excuse that marriage just doesn't fit with rap feels more like a deflection than a truth, especially considering how often he went out of his way to create drama instead of building stability at home. When Offset's comments hit social media, the backlash was instant. Many fans clowned him for sounding bitter and insecure, saying he only hates marriage because he couldn't handle the responsibility that came with it. Others defended him, arguing that not everyone is built for marriage, and that at least he's being honest. The split in reactions reflects a bigger conversation happening online about relationships, loyalty, and whether marriage is even worth it in the modern world. But one thing nearly everyone agreed on was that Offset's delivery was messy, and his timing couldn't have been worse. What makes this situation even more explosive is the shift in power between Cardi and Offset. At one point, Offset was the bigger star, but over time, Cardi has become a cultural force while his career has slowly declined. Today, she has more money, more influence, and more respect in the industry, while he's left taking shots from the sidelines. That imbalance makes his bitterness even more obvious, as it seems like Offset is trying to tear her down to make himself feel bigger. Instead of focusing on his own work, he's trying to rewrite the narrative of their relationship. Despite everything, fans can't help but ask the question, will Cardi and Offset ever get back together? Their history shows that no matter how messy things got, they always found their way back, at least for a while. But this time feels different. Cardi looks freer, happier, and more in control of her life without him. Whether it's Stefan Diggs or just focusing on herself, she seems less willing to play the back-and-forth game. And yet, given their history, people can't fully rule out another reunion, making this story even more unpredictable. And then there's the baby question, the rumor that started all of this. Despite Cardi's denials and Offset's rejection, fans still believe there could be an announcement coming, whether before birth or after. Cardi has played this game before, denying pregnancy until she was ready to reveal it on her own terms, so the suspicion hasn't gone away. The mystery keeps fans glued to her every move, wondering if she's hiding something big. And if it turns out to be true, it will raise even more questions about Offset's bitter denial and what's really going on behind the scenes. So here, where we're left, Offset denying rumors with venom, calling out marriage as a trap, and showing the world just how toxic he can be, while Cardi rises above it, focused on her success and her children. The story isn't just about a pregnancy or a breakup. It's about power, respect, and what happens when love, fame, and ego collide. The big question now is whether Offset is just bitter about losing Cardi, or if he's exposing something deeper about the reality of fame and relationships. And as for Cardi, the world is watching to see whether she's truly free, or if this chapter with Offset is far from over.